TreeofLife wonderful recipes that just came to me off the top of my head. Well, we're going to start with a package of black beans. Let me give this a quick rinsey poo. Oh yes, just a quick rinse. As you can hear, I am stirring the beans in the sieve as I rinse. Now, as you know, sometimes a package of beans can have a little tiny stone in it. So we do want to be ever so observational. Now, I'm going to add the black beans to the crock pot. And as most of my friends know, I'm cuckoo for crock pots. Oh, how I love the crock pot. Now, you know, the crock pot has been around for a very, very long time. And most people think, oh, it takes too long to use the crock pot. But no, my friends, this is the technique. Watch. I put the black beans into the crock pot and I add a little bit of olive oil. Now, I just add a splash. I don't measure. Now, what I do next is I season. And I prefer to use a little bit of onion powder. Never onion salt. Because you're paying for this much terrible iodized salt and this much onion powder. That's just not what we want to do. Then I add a little bit of garlic powder. Now, my friends, I do not add my salt in the beginning because it makes the skin of the beans potentially tough. So we wait till the end to add the salt. Sea salt, of course. Then, as you see, I got the crock pot plugged in, turned on high. Water is boiling. I always get my water boiling in the beginning, and I just cover the beans about 1 inch. Just enough. And that is to get the beans cooking as quickly as possible. Now, you saw how fast that went. The next step is for me to chop an onion or two. This is sweet potatoes that I will be peeling and cutting up, and I will be cooking my vegetables in my rice cooker, which I use as a pressure cooker steamer. So that way, about 2 to 3 hours after these beans are so soft and sumptuous, I add my, what did I call these? Maybe I called them yams or sweet potatoes. I do not know at this point. But I do know that I pre-cook my vegetables ever so al dente, and then I add them to the beans that are already cooked. That way, the vegetables do not get overcooked in the bean broth. But then, for a little extra additional sumptuous enhancement, I add frozen corn. So as you can see, we're going to have black beans. We're going to have a golden, rich, orange yum. We're going to have the flavor of the onion, and then we're going to have the golden yellow colors of the corn. And for added flavor, this is not a must, but if you have it on hand, I do like to add a little tomato flavoring. What I prefer to do is I buy these jars of delicious Italiano Kalamata olive bruschetta whatnot, which is primarily diced tomatoes, virgin olive oil, onion, salt, Kalamata olives, and we know how rich those olives are, red wine vinegar, garlic, basil, a little black pepper, which if I could take the black pepper out, I would, because I don't like black pepper. My liver does not like black pepper, and my gallbladder does not digest, break down black pepper. Black pepper in very, 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 very small quantities could be less harmful, but in general, never will you find a canister of black pepper in my spice rack, because it is not digestible. It lands in the liver and the gallbladder just like a little grain of sand in an oyster, and it collects inorganic chemicals and deposits, and it creates the stones that we deal with. So we don't like that. No, we don't. Then we must do a liver cleanse and pass those stones out of the gallbladder, liver, and the kidneys. So therefore, stay away from black pepper. Absolutely. Now, I think that what I'm going to do at this point in time is I'm going to shut off the camera, and I'm going to chop and prepare my vegetables, and also I am going to add more water to the tea kettle, and I'm going to bring it back to a boil, and so that we have more water to add to our soup base. Now, right now we're just about covering with about, I would say, an inch over the beans, but in time, within maybe 1 hour, those black beans will absorb that water. And at that point in time, we want to add more boiling water, not too high, leave about 1 inch from the surface, so that when we add our onion, our yam, and our corn, we will then raise up the level, and we'll have a full pot of black bean stew. Okay, let me shut off the camera. My cameraman is on a coffee break, and you know, I don't like to bother him. So, I'm a one-woman show. This is Gaia Ma saying stay tuned. I will be back to show you the end result. Thank you. So, carrots are a wonderful addition to the soups. So now I'm going to demonstrate how I cut up you see that? That's the benefit of adding boiling water to your beans. Get those beans going right away. This is already coming to a boil, so we can turn this down. What I'm going to do is, you know how sometimes cutting up onions can just make you cry? Well, there's many reasons why that happens. Number one, breathe through your mouth, not your nose. Somehow the oils in onions, if they get up in the membranes of your nose, it will travel to the eyes. And that's how the tearing can start up. Sometimes the tearing can be so bad, it's so intense, it baffles the mind what's going on. But what I do, I try to be quick about it. Alright, so I cut off both ends, half it, and then take off the outer layer of the skin. Keep your mouth open. Breathing. I want to get this done with. Notice how I'm putting my garbage, I'm throwing it into a bag right away, and it's going to go into the freezer. Okay? All garbage from food stuff stays in the freezer until it's trash time. Then you pull it out of the freezer, throw it in your trash. That way you're not dealing with rotten food in your garbage. You know, like as little as possible. So now I want you to observe. I'm working with the halves of the onions, and this is how I'm dicing it up. And when it comes to soup, your veggies don't have to be diced up too small. Now, see, halfer, then 1, 2, 3, turn it the other direction and cross it. So what we're doing, never rush. 1, 2, 3, this one will take a 4. Okay, turn, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Now flip it down on the flat side, that's more stability. 5, 6. Okay, turn this so you can see. Here we go. There's your half onion. I'm going to slice it 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to turn it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. See how I'm moving very slowly, keeping my fingers out of the way. I don't go like that. 1, 2, 3. Now throw it down because there's more stability on that wider edge. And easy. Watch this. 2 onions, chopped, diced. Slowly. Sometimes you move fast and sometimes you move slowly, okay? The fast times make up for the slow times, and the slow times keep you safe. Now, rice cooker gets plugged in. Could have done that a few minutes ago. So, onions in. Olive oil. Every time I add a vegetable, I add a seasoning. I layer it up. We're just layering it up. Okay, so this is, that way you're sure to have plenty of flavor in your finished product. This is where you add your salt, sea salt. Okay? You can always add more. You can't take out. So now, what I like to do is take the broth from the soup. It's already hot. And we just give that a little broth just so that it doesn't stick to the bottom. And it starts to create the steam. Okay? Oops. Now that's got the onion started. Now we're going to go for now we're going to prepare the other vegetables. So let's do the yummy pie. Now again, grab the garlic.